We got the Eagles starting linebacker Nigel Bradham, and of course his weekly report brought to you by Ernest & Son Old Fashioned Butcher Shop. 2 great locations, Brigantine inside the Exchange in Linwood. PhillySportsTrips.com, dedicated to providing premium travel and tailgating experience to the passionate fans of Philadelphia. ResidenceDE.com. Check them out online, ResidenceDE.com. Goodwheels quality used cars located on Delsea Drive and High Street in Glassboro. Stop by yourself. Check them out online, goodwheelsonline.com. And with that being said, 1:07 on a Monday, Rich Quinones here, and we welcome in starting linebacker of the Philadelphia Eagles, Nigel Bradham, who joins us every Monday at 1:05. How you doing, Nigel?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
What time did you guys get in last night?
We got in like 4:35 this morning.
All right, I'll take it easy on you today. That's because you guys won. If you would have lost, I would... Listen. All right, listen. I hear you. All right, let's get into it. That's an impressive win on both sides of the football. And I'll tell you, I know we didn't really get to preview the game a lot because you had the bye week, but I said on Friday's show, I thought if the defense was able to get Prescott in 3rd and long and you take away the ground game, Schwartz is basically going to pin back the ears, and I think he's going to let you guys run free. And we kind of saw it last night. I'm curious to get your thoughts on 2 things. First of all, what adjustments did you guys make defensively in the second half that you can share with us?
It's really just, they had a couple scheme runs on us where they pretty much schemed. They had some good plays there where they schemed up some good runs on us, and we had to just get back to the drawing board and figure out a way to stop it.
And then did you guys get the sense that Prescott was rattled a little bit? Because when you watch the game, and I'm sure you guys will see this with the film, it seemed as though Dallas did not let this kid really try to throw the football down the field. Of course, credit to the secondary, but it seemed as though once the pocket collapsed, a little indecisive with some of his decision-making. Did you guys feel, 2nd, 3rd quarter, okay, listen, they don't pose any threat offensively?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we felt like we had him rattled because we kept hitting him. And we could see the frustration between him and, they felt like they couldn't make any big plays. It pretty much just was like dinking and dunking the ball.
Yep.
And making short gains and pretty much just trying to rely on us to miss tackles or something like that. But fortunately, we have a defense that can swarm to the ball. So, I mean, we're a great tackling team, man. I feel like we got great guys that can tackle in our secondary, which was huge last night. Those guys made tremendous stops.
How about last night with Darby inserted into the starting lineup and right away had the pass breakup on Bryant, had the pick, had the interception. We saw a couple of the picks in the secondary with you guys putting some pressure up in Prescott. But all of a sudden, it's almost like a midseason acquisition with Darby, right? Because he only played a little bit in the opener. You lose him for an extended period of time, and then he comes back, and right away he made his presence known last night.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, you know what type of player he is. As far as what he's done in this league, he has experience. I mean, this is his 3rd year, I believe. He started from day one. So, I mean, he has experience in this game, and he's a true competitor, man. And the way he carries himself and competes every day, he was making sure that he was going to be ready for this game, and he knew he was going to have a big challenge going into this game, in a primetime situation, a big rivalry game for us. He knew he was going up against a big challenge in Dez Bryant. And he stepped up, man, and he knew he was going to come to play, and he really set the tone for us.
I know.
By taking him away.
I know we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but the emergence all of a sudden, and I don't want to say the emergence, but just the way Derek Barnett has kind of elevated his play. A couple sacks last night, blowing up plays, tackle for losses. You practice with the guys. You see these guys from the get-go. I know I asked you this back in September, but you really start to see the emergence with him adding another dimension, especially with that defensive front. Now all of a sudden you guys can be a little more creative. You can be a little more aggressive. But this kid just stands out on film.
Oh yeah, he's unbelievable, man. And you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a guy who's going to work, and he's going to go 100%. Anytime he's out there on that field, he's going to give you his all. And he's gonna compete, man. I think the thing that's unique about Derek, man, people don't realize is flexibility. The guy is extremely flexible. I mean, if you look at that sack strip that he had last night, The way he was able to lean and extend his arm.
Falling down, too. Yep, falling down.
Yeah, like, his flexibility is unbelievable, man. We see him hit all kind of angles in practice, and his ability to get low and lean and still keep his balance is amazing to see, man. He's definitely a freak of nature and definitely an added dimension to our defense, man. And he's definitely, last night, man, he really took over that game and just excelled.
Yeah, and people, it's for some people, they always look at sacks, but a lot of times it's quarterback hits because eventually you just had a feeling, even when you guys fell behind, there was no real panic at all, and you needed to make the adjustments. Now, but what about, I'm sure you guys want to clean up a couple things, though, in the run defense, especially in the second half with Morris. Is it just that the offensive line of Cowboys were doing a good job and Morris is a hard runner, or just technique, or just things where you guys can clean up?
No, it was just a play we hadn't seen from them. It was kept running the stretch GC and pulling those two guys, and those was really the runs that really got out on us. I think he had one other run off a cutback that kind of
the 22-yarder, I think. Yep.
Yeah, so that one kind of hurt us a little bit. So that was definitely the worst game we've had in the run game all year. And I mean, we'll correct that, man. We'll get things corrected on that. It was just more so, I think, of seeing some new plays that we had to make some adjustments to, which we did. And, I mean, the main thing, we didn't give up any points. They scored no touchdowns, so that was huge on our part as a defense, man. We felt like that was a big accomplishment.
When you look at a quarterback like Prescott, it's weird because he's more accurate when he's flushed out of the pocket, where you would say, well, typically quarterback, when he has time to throw in the pocket, if he's accurate, that's great. But he moves around well, and he's accurate. But last night he was missing some throws, and I think it was the pick, and I want to say maybe it was his first or second pick. It was a red zone interception. And again, he was kind of flushed out of the pocket, but I think you guys were able to knock him around a little bit. When you're back there as a linebacker, do you watch his eyes? Do you watch the quarterback's eyes, especially with a guy that moves around like Prescott?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's the guy that looks around a little bit and has the mobility to scramble. You can't watch his eyes too much because you might lose your guy.
Assignment. Yep.
What we're in.
Yep.
Yeah. So if we're in the zone, we definitely read his eyes for the most part. And I believe on that interception, you could tell he was rattled when he escaped out and it was in the red zone. You're right, it was in the red zone. He escaped out and we had somebody coming to come get him. And I think he tried to just get the ball away real fast, and he ended up throwing it right to one of our guys, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. Last night was a perfect example where the quarterback didn't have to be spectacular. He didn't have to be brilliant. But when he needed to step in the pocket, he made a couple throws. You lose the kicker. You have a backup linebacker who kicks off a couple times, which probably should have got a game ball. But I go back to something we talked about in the Kansas City game. Now, all of a sudden, offensively, I read this down in the 12 o'clock hour. Offensively, running the football. Listen, you run the football in this league and you play defense in November and December and you get to the quarterback, you're going to have a good chance to be there when it's all said and done, especially in the playoffs. I know you don't speak too much of this from a defensive standpoint, but you know this. The Ajayi run, that's a tone setter, right? That's a backbreaker. That's basically, okay, you can't stop us. He didn't get in the end zone, but it's a 70-something yard run. That's kind of like my will versus your will. And I think no matter what, it just wears down a defense. They realize you're going to run against me and I can't stop you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. And it wears them down, man. And we were kind of, I believe what happened was we went into halftime and we felt like, dang, we got away from the run.
Yep.
And they just made the adjustment of going back to it because they really never really stopped the run in the first half. We just kind of got away from it. And that's all it was. So we came back to it. Our offensive line played tremendously well, man. The way they was moving those guys up there up front, they really controlled the game.
Very athletic line. And Vaitai, Kelsey. Listen, when you don't mention the offensive line by name, that means they're doing a good job. I mean, it really is. Yeah. And you're right, that drive was huge because that's a 9-7 Dallas lead going into the locker room. You guys come out, and I mentioned this too. It's these long, methodical drives, 8-play, 9-play, 10 plays, 75, 80, 85 yards. They wear down a defense. I mean, if you can't get guys off the field on third down, it's just demoralizing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and that's that's the thing that we defend. We feel like we have to be so well on as a defense that we have to get off the field on third down. We had a couple of drives last night where they kept driving on us, but we ended up still doing a good job by just holding them to 3. And that was it. That was it for us. So we was fortunate on that part, being able to stop them, at least hold them to 3. But we did have some unfortunate drives where we gave up a couple plays we shouldn't have gave up, where they've just been, or just a missed alignment or just somebody missing a tackle or something like that. And I mean, but we getting things corrected, man. We're just trying to build each week, and we want to continue to get better each week and get stronger as the season goes on.
Yeah, and the Cowboys 3 of 14 from third down conversions. Again, Rich Quinones here. Nigel Bradham, his weekly spot. Eagles routing the Cowboys last night, 37-9 on the road, 9-1, 8 in a row. All right, I'll ask you, because I got to be honest with you, because I work basically 7 days a week and I do other broadcasts. My eyes were very heavy last night. I was hanging in, and then all of a sudden I see the strip sack and I see, what is that, Nigel Bradham with the ball, fumble return? First of all, 2 things. You showed a little bit of burst there.
Yeah, I got a little speed in my background. I don't know if you noticed.
You kept the game ball?
Man, I actually just spiked that ball and went.
That's a bad job by you. Come on.
But no, they got it for me though.
All right.
They got it for me.
It showed some athleticism, and it was set up by Barnett. Yeah, the defense just overall has really, it's amazing. You look from one year to the next. It's amazing how when things start to click in the NFL for a team, it doesn't matter what they have to overcome. I mean, the kicker goes out yesterday. You have to use a backup linebacker to kick off. Guys go down. Other guys step up. You start to get the sense, okay, something special is going on here. And then you look around the NFL and you look around the rest of, the AFC parity, the NFC, 4 or 5 good teams, including yourselves. I mean, it's wide open. You guys basically control, I don't like to say destiny, but right now, if you keep this pace up, you should be able to get home field advantage, and I know that's what you guys are looking at. I mean, the division's wrapped up, let's be honest. The next step is home field advantage. I mean, I'll say it, you won't.
For sure. I mean, we all know that's the next step. That's what we want. That's what we're in it for. Our first goal was to win the division, and then our next goal after that was home field advantage. So obviously, that's definitely a goal, but we still gonna focus in each week. We're not gonna slip up at all on anybody. We're not gonna let nobody, just come in and take what we striving for. So we pretty much, man, we want to stay focused. We just gonna take it each week at a time, but we definitely have those goals set in place where we feel like, we got to get the home field advantage. Yeah. We got the division now, so we got to get the home field advantage.
And I look at the next 3 out of 4 on the road against Seattle, on the road against the Rams. I mean, look, the Rams, they had to put on their big boys' pants. They lost to a good team, but I think the Rams are a tough out. Seattle, that 12th man, that's a very tough place to play in. And then the Giants, who, let's be honest, they showed some heart yesterday. They're going to try to spoil the party a little bit. So you got these 3 road games. I mean, if anything, we see where you guys are, obviously, because the record's a 9-1, but you start to see the rubber meet the road here over the next 3 or 4, because it's hard to win in the NFL on the road. It really is. You know this. Last night, that's a tough spot to go into Dallas, and you win.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it shows the growth in us, man. If you look at us from last year, the team we didn't play too well on the road last year.
Couldn't close out games
went
either.
Into Dallas,
yep.
Right? So we went in, we had growth from that. I feel like we went and got the depth and the added players that we needed this offseason. And that's credit to the guys in our front office, by doing a spectacular job on that. And it's just, man, we're we're in a great situation. We definitely got some teams that we're gonna have to face, but we're gonna be ready to play. And that's all it is. That's all it is at the end of the day. As long as we come prepared and keep doing what we've been doing, we can go into anybody's house and get that win. That's how we feel about it. I mean, we're a different team this year, and you can see it. You can see the chemistry. You can see the energy. You can see the passion. You can see all our guys love football. You can see that, and it shows. And that's why you see all of us together like that, taking pictures and stuff and doing all kinds of stuff. Which
shows a camaraderie, right? That's it's a team effort, right? It's not me.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and that kind of tells you. And it's funny too because you guys are taking on the personality of the coordinator, but the head coach, who some media outlets thought he didn't know what he was doing going into this year, they're probably going to eat crow when it's all said and done. You have a balanced attack right now, and I know it's cliche to say, but guys are buying in, right? They bought in. They want to play hard for this coach. They want to go out there and play hard for Jim and play hard for Doug. For
sure. I mean, we got great coaches, man. A great group of guys that's rare to come by. I've had my share of coaches, and I mean this one.
I'm not even going to ask you what's going on with your old. We'll say that for another day. I mean, pulling that poor kid and sticking him out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But this is definitely the best staff I've been a part of, and had the opportunity to be coached by. And it's fortunate, man. We got some great leaders in front of us, and they teach us the game in a great way, in all aspects. They even take it to an extra level so we can do better and try to be better and be better as a team. It's not just, like you said, it's not just about one person. It's just about all of us and having growth.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you win, right? When you lose, the coach gets ripped. They want to go to a different quarterback, another coach, and then when you win, quarterback's winning, defense is playing well, the head coach is a genius. I mean, that's the beauty of the NFL. What do you got going on? You going to be sitting in front of the TV on Thursday, relaxing a little bit with the family? I know you're going to be watching these games.
Yeah, we definitely. We always, what we do on Thursdays, man, as a defense, we all go out to dinner on Thursdays and watch the game.
Who picks up the check?
We rotate it every week, so it just goes by each person in each group. So one week it'll be DBs, and one person in the DB group will pick it up.
Well, hold on a second. I'm curious now. Does there's like this old adage back in the day when guys would go out. Sometimes when the check would come around, the guy would excuse himself and go to the bathroom. You don't have any guy like that in your group, do you?
Nah, we ain't got any guys like that, man. I think they got rid of all the guys like that. So mostly everybody's cool with it. It's just like a big brotherhood, like a family.
All right. Those are the guys you don't want in the locker room,
Yeah.
All right. Listen, great win. Congratulations. Good stuff with the fumble return for a touchdown. You guys keep it rolling. Have a good Thanksgiving. We will talk. We'll talk next week. I know you guys got the Bears coming up, young quarterback. So it should be again. Hey, this every game. We saw yesterday, right? No one gave the Giants a chance in hell. They beat Kansas City. Washington looked like they were going to win. They couldn't close it out. I mean, there's parity in the league, so you got to be able to bring it every Sunday.
Exactly. That's why I told you earlier, we're not going to sleep on nobody, man. Hey, this league is, you know what this league is.
Yes.
We got a target on our back.
Yep. Now you do. Yep, which is a big difference, from being the guys that were hunting. All right, Nigel, I appreciate it, pal. Have a good Thanksgiving. We'll talk next week, bud.
All right, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, you too. All right, be well. Nigel Bradham.